Ever wonder what goes into making the bright yellow mustard that sits in your refrigerator door? Before landing on your hot dog, this popular condiment undergoes a fascinating transformation. We're taking you on an exclusive journey to discover the surprising process that brings mustard from farm to table. You'll see sprawling golden fields in Canada, witness massive stone mills that have remained unchanged for over a century, and get an inside look at the meticulous steps required to create this everyday staple. The entire production requires a precise 32-hour process that few people ever get to witness until now. If you love uncovering the secrets behind everyday foods, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories like this one. Let's take a trip to the golden fields of Canada, where your favorite condiment begins its journey. Picture this: nearly 500,000 acres of farmland, stretching as far as the eye can see, dedicated solely to growing those tiny but mighty mustard seeds. That's roughly twice the size of New York City, all covered in mustard plants. Canada is the world's largest exporter of mustard seeds, producing over 200,000 tons annually. The Canadian prairies offer the perfect growing conditions for mustard, particularly in the provinces of Saskatchewan and Alberta. These regions have exactly what mustard plants crave: cool nights, warm days, and just the right amount of rainfall. The soil here contains the perfect balance of nutrients that help develop those distinctive flavor compounds that give mustard its kick. Think of it as nature's perfect recipe for growing these spicy little powerhouses. When spring arrives, farmers begin preparing their fields with precision. The timing has to be just right. Plant too early, and a late frost could wipe out the entire crop. Plant too late, and the summer heat might arrive before the seeds have properly developed. You're always watching the sky and feeling the soil, says Dave Rempel, a third-generation mustard farmer. 1 week can make the difference between a bumper crop and disaster. Most begin planting in April or early May, when soil temperatures reach about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Any colder, and germination rates plummet. Take a closer look at these mustard seeds, and you'll be amazed at how something so tiny packs such a flavor punch. They're barely the size of a pinhead. You could fit over 15,000 seeds in a single handful. These minuscule seeds contain special compounds called glucosinolates that remain dormant until the seed is crushed and mixed with liquid. It's like nature's version of a flavor bomb, waiting to be activated. The planting process itself demonstrates modern agriculture's precision. Farmers use specialized seeders calibrated to plant each seed at the optimal depth, deep enough to access moisture, but shallow enough for the seedling to reach sunlight. These machines place the seeds in perfectly straight rows with calculated spacing, allowing each plant enough room to develop without competing with its neighbors for nutrients. Like clockwork, the real magic happens about 30 days after planting. What once was an empty field transforms into a sea of bright yellow flowers that glow under the prairie sun. When in full bloom, these fields are so vibrantly yellow that they're actually visible from space. The flowers only last for about 2 weeks, but during this time they attract bees and other pollinators that help ensure a healthy seed set. A single acre in bloom can support thousands of bees, making mustard fields important habitats for these essential pollinators. After flowering comes the critical pod development stage. The bright yellow petals fall away and small green pods form in their place. Inside each pod, between 10 and 20 tiny seeds begin to develop. This is when farmers start watching the weather obsessively. Too much rain can cause the pods to mold. Not enough, and the seeds might not fill out properly. Hailstorms during this period can be catastrophic, destroying the delicate pods and ruining an entire season's work in minutes. As summer progresses, those green pods slowly turn to a golden brown, nature's signal that harvest time is approaching. Farmers walk their fields daily, crushing pods between their fingers to check if the seeds inside have reached that perfect yellowish hue. You develop a feel for it, explains Rempel. There's this perfect moment when the seed tells you it's ready. When the moment is right, usually in late August or early September, the specialized harvesters roll into the fields. These machines cut the plants just below the pod level and feed them into a threshing mechanism that gently crushes the pods to release the seeds. The timing of this operation is critical. Harvest in the morning when dew is present and the seeds might mold during storage. Harvest in the peak afternoon heat and the brittle pods could shatter before reaching the thresher, causing significant yield loss. The harvesting machines use a balance of air and screens to separate the seeds from the chaff. The lightweight plant material is blown away, while the heavier seeds fall through specific size screens. A good harvester operator can recover more than 95% of the seeds from a field, leaving very little behind. The harvested seeds are immediately transported to storage facilities in specialized grain trucks. These trucks are sealed to prevent any moisture from getting in and have smooth interior walls to make sure not a single seed is left behind. Every bushel counts when you're dealing with a crop this valuable. Those carefully transported seeds now face their next challenge, a series of high-tech cleaning machines that would impress even the most dedicated neat freak. When these truckloads of tiny mustard seeds arrive at the processing facility, they're far from ready to become the yellow condiment we love. First, they need to pass through an impressive gauntlet of cleaning equipment designed to remove everything that isn't a perfect mustard seed. The cleaning process works like an intricate dance of machinery, each step precisely choreographed. Vibrating screens shake with incredible precision, creating hypnotic wave-like motions as thousands of seeds bounce through different-sized holes. The mustard seeds fall through while larger debris like twigs and stems stay behind. Following this initial screening, powerful air blowers create carefully calculated currents, strong enough to whisk away lighter materials like dust and plant leaves, yet gentle enough that the heavier mustard seeds drop straight down. In advanced facilities, powerful magnets extract any metallic particles that might have sneaked in during harvesting, and optical sorters use cameras and artificial intelligence to identify and remove discolored or damaged seeds. This meticulous cleaning serves a critical purpose. By the end, only pristine mustard seeds remain, ensuring quality and protecting equipment. Even a single stone making it through could damage grinding machines, potentially ruining thousands of jars and costing the factory millions. The cleaning system works as both quality guardian and production protector. A sophisticated sieve that determines the foundation of every mustard jar's quality. After the cleaning marathon, these seeds face their next test: quality control. Laboratory technicians analyze samples from each batch, checking moisture content with scientific precision. The perfect moisture balance is crucial. Too dry and the seeds won't process correctly. Too moist and they risk developing mold during storage. These technicians also evaluate the seed's flavor compounds, ensuring they contain the precise balance of elements that will create mustard's signature taste. This testing stage directly influences whether the mustard will deliver that perfect tangy kick that consumers expect on their hot dogs and sandwiches. Seeds that pass inspection move to giant silos towering over mustard processing plants. These massive containers hold up to 200,000 pounds of mustard seeds each, enough to make about 2 million bottles of mustard. Inside, temperature and humidity remain carefully controlled to maintain seed quality until production begins. When scheduled for processing, seeds move from storage to steeping tanks, enormous vats, where they soak in water for about 3 hours. During this crucial soaking period, water activates an enzyme called myrosinase that's naturally present in the seeds. This enzyme triggers a chemical reaction producing isothiocyanates, the compounds responsible for mustard's distinctive kick. The transformation from tiny seed to powerful flavor happens in these vats, where chemistry and culinary tradition meet. The steeping does more than activate flavor compounds. The seeds double in size as they absorb water, swelling and softening in preparation for grinding. This physical change makes them much easier to process into a smooth paste later on. Factory workers monitor this process constantly, checking temperature and timing with expert precision. Steep too long, and the enzymes break down excessively, diminishing mustard's kick. Too brief, and the seeds won't properly activate those essential flavor compounds. This delicate balance represents an art mustard makers have perfected over generations. After steeping, the seeds remain intentionally damp as they move forward. This moisture allows the chemical reaction creating mustard's distinctive flavor to continue developing. The transformation that began in the steeping tanks progresses right until the mustard gets sealed in its jar. This myrosinase enzyme serves as a defense mechanism for mustard plants in nature, creating pungent compounds that deter predators. What protects the plant in the wild creates the perfect condiment for humans. The reaction remains so potent that when you open a fresh jar, those compounds are still active, releasing their distinctive aroma. Mustard makers are essentially plant chemists, controlling a natural reaction to produce exactly the flavor profile their customers expect, whether fully developed for a spicier product or gently controlled for a milder taste. From plant chemistry to precise formulation, now we get to witness the most critical stage where mustard truly becomes mustard. While enzyme activation creates the signature kick, something entirely different gives yellow mustard its unmistakable bright color. Inside those massive industrial mixing tanks, a scientific ballet unfolds as workers measure ingredients with precision down to 0.1%. The mixing stage transforms this culinary chemistry experiment. Those swollen, enzyme-activated seeds enter enormous industrial tanks where they meet the other key players in mustard's creation. These industrial-scale equipment process enough mustard to top thousands of hot dogs simultaneously. Workers carefully measure ingredients with scientific precision, executing a formula refined over generations. The white vinegar enters first, providing that distinctive tangy flavor, while serving as a natural preservative that extends shelf life. The vinegar ratio directly impacts both flavor profile and product stability. The formula these mustard makers follow mirrors an artist's careful color mixing. 60% water forms the base, creating the proper consistency. 20% vinegar delivers tanginess while preventing microbial growth. 15% mustard seeds contribute the fundamental flavor, and the final 5% consists of salt and spices completing the taste profile. This mathematical precision ensures every bottle tastes identical, regardless of when or where it's purchased. As workers add a measured portion of bright orange-yellow powder to the mix, we witness the addition of turmeric, the spice responsible for yellow mustard's iconic color. Surprisingly, turmeric contributes almost nothing to the actual taste. It transforms what would otherwise be a beige condiment into the sunshine yellow sauce recognized worldwide. Salt enters next, followed by other spices like paprika to round out the flavor profile. Each addition is measured with extraordinary care. Even a 1% deviation could dramatically alter the taste that millions of customers expect. This balance of science and sensory experience satisfies consumer expectations for both flavor and appearance. The massive rotating paddles inside the mixing tanks spin at incredible speeds, reaching 165 miles per hour. This high-velocity mixing continues for a full hour, ensuring perfect blending of all components. The result is a uniform mixture where every molecule of turmeric, drop of vinegar, and particle of mustard seed distributes evenly throughout. Consistency is critical. Quality control technicians regularly sample the blend, checking for both flavor and texture that will eventually coat food with that ideal layer of tangy goodness. The viscosity must be perfect, thin enough to squeeze from bottles, but thick enough to adhere properly to food. Temperature control during mixing plays a crucial role too. If the mixture warms too much during high-speed blending, both flavor development and shelf stability suffer. Cooling systems maintain optimal temperature throughout the hour-long process. Lab technicians remove samples from each batch to verify the pH level meets exact specifications. This acidity level prevents harmful bacteria growth, ensuring that bottle in your fridge stays good for months. The carefully controlled vinegar proportion creates an environment hostile to microorganisms while contributing to mustard's signature tang. These mixing tanks process enough mustard to fill thousands of bottles in a single batch. One minor miscalculation could potentially affect every bottle. This is why production combines art and science, balancing time-tested recipes with modern quality control techniques. The texture evolves as ingredients continue blending. The once separate components become the smooth, homogeneous condiment we recognize. Mustard seeds distribute evenly throughout the mixture, ensuring consistent flavor in every bite. That full hour of high-speed blending delivers perfect integration of ingredients. Too short, and pockets of undistributed spices might remain. Too long, and the emulsion that gives mustard its ideal texture could break down. This industrial-scale precision results in remarkable consistency. Whether you buy yellow mustard today or years from now, the taste remains virtually identical thanks to this carefully controlled mixing process. Once complete, the now uniform mustard mixture moves to the grinding process, a crucial next step that will further refine its texture while preserving the bright yellow color and tangy aroma that now fills the air around the mixing tanks. This grinding stage will transform the carefully mixed ingredients into the smooth, spreadable condiment we all recognize. That uniform yellow mixture now heads toward what might seem like the most antiquated room in this high-tech facility. Those enormous granite wheels, weighing several tons each and turning with methodical precision, aren't museum pieces. They represent the fascinating contradiction at the heart of modern mustard production. Despite a century of technological advancements, these stone mills remain irreplaceable in creating the smooth mustard texture we instantly recognize. Look at this grinding room, a time capsule surrounded by computer monitors and stainless steel. The mustard mixture flows into these massive stone mills, each featuring two enormous discs made of granite or flint. The bottom stone remains perfectly still while the top stone rotates against it, creating the grinding action. This simple mechanism has endured for over a century, standing firm like ancient guardians preserving the secrets of perfect mustard. The delicate chemistry of mustard explains why modern technology can't replace these stone sentinels. Those flavor compounds activated during steeping are incredibly sensitive to heat. The stone grinding method generates minimal thermal energy while crushing the seeds, maintaining a temperature of about 60 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Any hotter, and the volatile compounds responsible for mustard's signature kick begin breaking down, resulting in a bland, lifeless condiment. The mechanics of the process unfold like a mesmerizing dance. As the mixture passes between these massive stones, the mustard seeds are caught and crushed. With each rotation, the particles become increasingly smaller, from seeds to tiny fragments to microscopic bits. This gradual reduction achieves that perfectly smooth consistency while preserving the flavor profile. The stones work with a gentle persistence that modern high-speed grinders simply can't match. A modern mustard factory operates more than 30 stone mills simultaneously, processing approximately 90 tons of mustard seeds daily, enough to fill millions of familiar squeeze bottles. The mills work continuously, the granite stones steadily turning as rivers of mustard flow through the system. A half-millimeter adjustment can make the difference between perfect texture and rejection, explains Maria, a veteran technician with 20 years experience. You develop a feel for it, almost like the stones are talking to you. These experts constantly monitor the spacing between the stones, making minute adjustments to ensure the grinding is neither too coarse nor too fine, blending industrial precision with artisanal intuition. After the initial grinding, quality control performs a finesse test to check texture. They search for particles exceeding 0.25 millimeters, barely visible but noticeable on the tongue. If they find particles that are too large, the millstone spacing is adjusted. This meticulous attention ensures every jar has that consistently smooth texture consumers expect. The entire process demands precise control. Too much pressure generates excessive heat, too little leaves the mixture coarse. Rotation speed matters equally. Too fast and heat builds, too slow and production lags. Operators maintain this delicate balance with practiced expertise. The grinding room carries the strongest aroma in the factory as the crushing process releases concentrated flavor compounds from the seeds. The scent combines sharpness and earthiness, mustard in its most potent form, filling the air like an invisible cloud of culinary potential. Despite being century-old technology, these mills process mustard with remarkable efficiency. The continuous flow system rarely stops except for maintenance, operating around the clock in many facilities. Steadily transforming the bright yellow mixture into smooth condiment, attempts to modernize with metal grinders or high-speed blenders have consistently failed to match the texture and flavor achieved by traditional stone mills. Engineers have experimented with ceramic grinding surfaces, water-cooled metal systems, and vacuum-sealed processors. Yet blind taste tests repeatedly confirm what mustard makers already know: the traditional stone ground method remains undefeated for quality and consistency. After grinding, the transformation is complete. What began as seeds floating in liquid has become a uniform, silky smooth condiment. The texture is perfect, spreadable yet substantial, with just enough body to cling to food without running off. This consistency emerges directly from the stone grinding process that no modern alternative can duplicate. The freshly ground mustard flows into holding tanks where it rests before moving to final production. This pause allows flavors to stabilize and meld. Though it now resembles the familiar condiment from our refrigerators, many producers insist the flavor continues developing during this resting period. the final stage in a process where ancient technology and modern science blend to create culinary perfection. While the yellow mustard rests in holding tanks, a parallel production line comes alive, one that transforms ordinary seeds into the sophisticated condiment found in fine dining establishments worldwide. Ever wonder why that jar of Dijon costs 3 times more than yellow mustard? The answer lies in a completely different 32-hour manufacturing process using seeds that pack significantly more heat. Step into the specialty mustard section of the factory and you'll immediately notice something different. The air carries a sharper, more pungent aroma, the unmistakable scent of brown mustard seeds being prepared for Dijon production. These aren't the same mild yellow seeds we've been following. Brown mustard seeds naturally possess a more intense and pungent flavor profile that gives Dijon its characteristic kick. Black seeds are intense and spicy, brown seeds are moderately hot, and yellow seeds are milder, explains the factory's production manager. Each seed variety contributes its own character to the mustard symphony, like instruments in an orchestra. The yellow provides the bass notes, brown adds the melody, and black delivers those powerful high notes that linger on the palate. This fundamental difference in seed type defines why Dijon mustard delivers that distinctive heat that yellow mustard lacks. The choice to use brown seeds is essential for achieving the depth and complexity that defines this gourmet variety. Look over at the ingredients station and you'll spot another key difference in the Dijon production line. Instead of the standard white vinegar used for yellow mustard, workers carefully measure specific quantities of cider vinegar and white wine vinegar. This combination creates a more layered flavor foundation that gives Dijon its sophisticated taste profile. The dual vinegar approach creates the nuanced character that mustard connoisseurs immediately recognize. But perhaps the most significant departure from yellow mustard production happens before the ingredients even come together. See those large stainless steel tanks? That's where Dijon undergoes a critical 12-hour fermentation process that simply doesn't exist in standard yellow mustard production. The fermentation stage develops the complex flavor profile that's characteristic of Dijon, says the facility's head flavor scientist. It allows the flavors to meld and mature, creating a more sophisticated taste experience. This aging process transforms the mustard into something with genuine depth and character. My grandfather taught me to respect the fermentation time. Rush it, and you lose the soul of the mustard, adds a third-generation mustard maker who oversees this section of the factory. Now check out the mixing equipment. Notice how different it looks from the high-speed blenders used for yellow mustard. The Dijon production uses specially designed low-speed mixers that gently combine the ingredients. These slow-speed mixers prevent air from being incorporated into the mixture, which would cause the mustard to oxidize, turn brown, and lose its distinctive flavor. A quality control specialist keeps a watchful eye on the mixing process, regularly sampling the developing mustard. The slow-speed mixing ensures that we maintain the integrity of both color and flavor, she explains. It takes longer, but the quality difference is immediately noticeable. The time investment in Dijon production is substantially greater than for yellow mustard. While standard yellow mustard completes its journey in about 20 hours, Dijon requires a full 32-hour production cycle. This extended timeline includes that crucial fermentation period, plus an overnight cooling phase that allows flavors to fully develop. As we follow the Dijon mustard through production, it's clear this is a fundamentally different product. The entire manufacturing approach has been reimagined to create something with greater complexity. But Dijon isn't the only specialty mustard being crafted in this section of the factory. Look over at the smaller production line where honey mustard is being made. Here, locally sourced honey is carefully heated to the perfect temperature before being incorporated into a milder mustard base. The proportion must be exact. Too much honey would overwhelm the mustard flavor, while too little would fail to achieve the signature sweetness. Further down the production floor, whole grain mustard undergoes yet another distinct process. Rather than grinding the seeds into a smooth paste, many seeds remain intact or only partially crushed, creating the distinctive texture that makes whole grain mustard popular for gourmet sandwiches and charcuterie boards. In the testing lab adjacent to the production floor, food scientists regularly sample each batch of specialty mustard, analyzing flavor, texture, appearance, viscosity, and pH levels. One scientist demonstrates how they use a specialized instrument to measure the precise level of spice compounds, ensuring each batch meets the established standards for its variety. The distinctive character of Dijon mustard ultimately comes from this perfect storm of factors: the naturally stronger brown mustard seeds, the sophisticated blend of cider and white wine vinegars, the crucial fermentation process, the special low-speed mixing, and the extended production timeline. Each element contributes to creating a condiment that's more complex and nuanced than its bright yellow cousin. After 32 hours of careful production, the mustard's journey isn't complete until it races through the most technologically advanced part of the factory. Those shiny bottles in your fridge have gone through an incredible high-speed symphony where machines fill, cap, and inspect 5 bottles every single second. The bottling area represents the final frontier before mustard reaches your table, and it's a marvel of modern engineering. This is where the carefully crafted condiment transitions from massive holding tanks into the familiar containers you grab from grocery store shelves. The process combines remarkable speed with absolute precision. Empty glass and plastic bottles enter the production line on conveyor belts that snake through the facility. Each container makes a crucial stop at the sanitizing station, where they're thoroughly cleaned to eliminate potential contaminants, essential for food safety and preserving the mustard's carefully calibrated flavor profile. After sanitization, the real magic begins at the filling stations. Gleaming machines with arrays of nozzles positioned above the production line descend with millimeter precision into the bottles as they pass beneath. In milliseconds, the exact amount of mustard, measured down to the gram, shoots into each container. The precision here ensures consistency in the product while preventing messy spills or partially filled containers. The filling process is completed in milliseconds, explains one production manager. That speed is crucial for meeting our production targets, but we never sacrifice accuracy. Too slow and we miss our quotas. Too fast and we risk spills or inconsistent fill levels. In the split-second world of bottling, every millimeter counts. The high-tech lines process over 300 bottles every minute, 5 bottles filled each second. In the time it takes you to say, "I love mustard," 15 bottles have already been filled and are moving down the line. From filling to capping, the journey continues as specially designed machines apply caps with precisely calibrated torque. The perfect tension ensures a seal that maintains freshness without frustrating consumers when they twist it open. This balance between security and accessibility exemplifies how the entire process constantly weighs technical requirements against consumer experience. The bottles then pass through one of the most sophisticated stages, the automated inspection system. Artificial intelligence and machine vision technology examine each container from multiple angles, checking fill levels down to the milliliter, verifying cap placement and tightness, and inspecting label alignment. Our automated vision systems can detect imperfections invisible to the human eye, notes one quality control technician. If there's even a minor flaw in fill level, cap placement, or bottle integrity, that container is automatically removed from the line. The efficiency of these systems is remarkable. A single worker overseeing this high-speed process manages the production of up to 112,000 bottles during their shift. That's enough mustard to stock several supermarkets, all under the watchful eye of one trained professional. From field to fridge, each bottle represents both agricultural heritage and technological innovation coming together in perfect harmony. The packaging materials themselves play crucial roles in maintaining product freshness. Glass bottles provide a premium look and excellent barrier against contamination, while plastic options offer convenience. The caps create tight seals that prevent air exposure, giving yellow mustard its impressive 15-month shelf life, while Dijon varieties typically remain fresh for about a year before opening. After inspection, the bottles are gathered into cases and prepared for shipping. Distribution logistics take over, moving the product from factory to distribution centers and ultimately to stores worldwide. This complex network ensures that perfect mustard is waiting for you, no matter where you shop. Next time you squeeze mustard onto your sandwich, take a moment to appreciate its remarkable journey. From Canadian prairie fields to high-speed bottling lines running at 5 bottles per second, that simple condiment represents an impressive fusion of agricultural tradition and cutting-edge automation. In your refrigerator sits the culmination of centuries of culinary heritage. transformed by modern ingenuity, yet unchanged in its essential purpose. A testament to how innovation and tradition can blend as seamlessly as the ingredients in the golden condiment itself. And there you have it, the complete journey of mustard from tiny seed to your sandwich. What's most fascinating is how this ancient condiment balances tradition with technology. While modern machinery has revolutionized production, those centuries-old stone grinding techniques remain irreplaceable for creating that perfect texture and flavor. This balance represents the essence of mustard itself, simultaneously simple yet complex, ancient yet modern, humble yet globally beloved. Next time you add that bright yellow dollop, savor the perfect blend of agricultural science and time-honored tradition. And stay tuned, we'll be exploring more behind-the-scenes food production stories in future videos.